Okay, so I saw this on Twitter. It says female artist and their third studio album, who is clearing. So if I have to pick only one as like the absolute best, I would probably give it to Janet Jackson's Control album. That is a great album. And so some of my favorite songs, What Have You Done For Me Lately, The Pleasure Principle, that is such a great video. And just what she was able to do. Like, one of my friends said this, but they said she had a warehouse and a dream. I mean, that choreography, only Janet Jackson really could pull something like that off, and like a handful of artists really. And then Nasty was a great song off its record. There's some even underrated stuff like He Doesn't Even Know I'm Alive that people don't really talk about. She had a #1 hit in When I Think of You, which is actually one that I feel like has really grown on me. And also Control the Song was really good. So there was a lot to like on this album with the New Jack Swing. Shout out to Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. This is Janet Jackson's real debut because no one really cares about the first two albums, no shade. And Janet didn't even want to really be in music. Like, this is where she started to really take music seriously, and it's just such a good album. So I would say that that's the best. And if I have to pick out a few to give like a top 5, next up, I definitely got to give it to this Fiona Apple album, and it is Extraordinary Machine. A lot of her fans don't go for this because they heard the John Bryan version. I've never heard that version out of respect to her, but I really like the original version of the album anyways, and it's one of my favorite albums by her, and I feel like people do a little bit too much on it. I'm sorry. I love Extraordinary Machine, the song Be Kind to Me or Treat Me Mean. I'll make the most of it. I'm an extraordinary machine. Like, I could definitely relate to that. Get Him Back is like my favorite Fiona Apple song ever. I just think it's really fun to listen to. You have Tim's The Sick in the Head song as well. Yeah, this was a really good album, I fear. Really good album. Red, red, red. Please, please, please. So good, man. And then next up, Britney Spears, Self-Titled. Yup. She ate. I've been saying this is one of her best albums. Everyone want to do so much on In the Zone and overrate that album to death, but no one want to talk about the real smash album, her Self-Titled. I'm sorry. I said this before, and I'll say it again. Cinderella deserved to be a single. I'm sorry. You work with Max Martin and make Pop Perfection, and that wasn't a single. I don't understand it to this day. Anticipating was a great song off of this record, and it definitely reminds me of like Janet Jackson, All For You, and like this album came out the same year as All For You, so iconic. And I also really enjoyed stuff like I Run Away. That's one of my favorite Britney songs as well. Like, that was just an excellent piece. It's something that's very different for her. Of course, you have I'm a Slave for You. That is one of Britney's like most iconic songs with all the choreography and stuff like that. And then she even had stuff like Let Me Be, What It's Like to Be Me off of this album. Bombastic Love. I just remember that song. Oh my god, that song was so good. So yeah, Britney came and did what she had to do with Self-Titled. The first two albums, was teen pop, it was cute. And then with Self-Titled, she said, I'm growing, now I mean business. And a lot of people try to do in their careers what Brandy did with one album. So I need y'all to give Self-Titled respect and stop overrating In the Zone. For number 3, I'm going to have to give it to Whitney Houston's I'm Your Baby Tonight. This is one of her best albums. I thought it was her best album for a bit. But then, I decided to give it to My Love Is Your Love. Some of my favorite songs off this album. I absolutely love the title track and the fact that she was able to record that in one take because she wanted to go to the mall. I mean, who else? That bridge, yeah. Babyface, Man Business, you Man Business. Lover for Life is like my favorite Whitney Houston song. I think that it is a gorgeous piece, so I have to put that up there. I really like the collaboration with Stevie Wonder, We Didn't Know. I'm Knockin' was a great record. My Name Is Not Susan. I really quite enjoyed that one. So yeah, there's a lot to like on this album, and her getting into that New Jack Swing I really liked. And also, I feel like this album has a good amount of up-tempos, and that's kind of what I wanted more from Whitney. So yeah, she really delivered. Taylor Swift Speak Now was a really good album. Speak Now, Enchanted, the song was amazing and a fan favorite, rightfully so. The Story of Us, Mine, Mean. Yeah, she was definitely in a bag. The Taylor version of that, don't even get me started. But the original definitely ate. I have to give some honorable mentions. Then, Mariah Music Box, it's a good album. I'm a huge Mariah fan. She's literally my favorite artist of all time. She has better albums, so that's why I wouldn't throw it up in top 3, to be honest with you. But there's some really good stuff on here. Like, Anytime You Need a Friend was a great gospel record. Now That I Know, Dream Lover. Like, there was a lot of good songs on that album. Never Forget You. Oh, that song is so good. That's one of my favorites. And Ariana Dangerous Woman was a really good album too. So like the bonus tracks were really good, like Step On Up, Jason's song, I Love Sometimes, Into You is one of the best pop songs to ever be recorded in my opinion. Be Alright was a great moment as well. I have other Ariana albums I prefer, but this was a really good album. I really like Lord Solar Power album. I feel like people did a little bit too much on it, but I feel like I'm one of the only people who actually enjoyed it. And especially with stuff like Mood Ring, that was a really great song to listen to. The bonus tracks like Helen of Troy, Hold No Grudge. I even like Solar Power the song a lot. Stoned at the Nail Salon, The Man with the Axe. So I thought that there was a lot to like on that album at least. Keep trying to sneak J-Lo on these. I really don't know why they keep trying to sneak her on here, but yeah, that's another sneak. That's another sneak. Beyonce, I'm Such a Fierce was a good album. Was stuff like Hello, Halo is one of my favorite Beyonce songs as well. Disappear was definitely giving Disney vibes, so there was a lot to like on that album. But yeah, I think that is like my absolute favorites out of all these three. Oh my god, I just realized they snuck Camila Cabello in here too. Oh my god. Anyways, but let me know your top three out of all these and your favorite songs. Do you agree with my picks? Do you disagree with me? And let's have that conversation.